In the kitchen, Asher was immediately hit by a whirl of words. "Good morning," cried Dad. "Just in time for breakfast. The most important meal of the day. Especially for you, my wonderful pumpkin, and your big growing brain." He rubbed Asher's head, messing up her hair, and then tried to make her dance along to a song on the radio. Asher studied his face. Dad was smiling and wearing his favorite King Jellyby apron, but he looked tired. "Hello, Ranny," said Mum, looking up from the spreadsheet on her tablet. Both she and Dad worked hard on their side business, Joshy Jellybees. Judging by the piles of ghee, maida flour, and sugar lined up on the side, they had a long day of cooking ahead. "Morning, Mum," Asher replied, sitting down at the table. Mum had called her Ranny her princess for as long as Asher could remember. She was more into prototyping than princess, but she loved her nickname all the same. The song on the radio finished playing and the news came on. The country of Iceland had lost access to internet. Reports suggest that undersea cables may have been. Dad switched it off. "That's enough for you, Mr. Newsman. Breakfast time is family time. We don't want to listen to your boring blah blah blah." Actually, Asher did want to listen. She had so many questions. How could an entire country lose access to the internet? Why was Iceland called Iceland? Who was the first person to make ice cubes? Wait, Dad, how can the whole of Iceland's internet be broken? And what have cables got to do with anything? My genius pumpkin, you know more about this than I do. Asher sighed. She could have known better. Her dad thought the cloud was an actual cloud. "Ranny, you know enough about electricity to know that the internet has to be carried by something. I can't see the cable that makes this light turn on, but that doesn't mean the cable doesn't exist." Mum pointed to a light in the ceiling. She is a whiz at DIY and she knew about how to think through a problem. "Now tell me, what are you going to do today while we cook, Ranny? Invent the new face base?" Before Asher could reply, footsteps stomped down the hallway and Asher's older sister, Anushka, appeared in the doorway. She was wearing a baggy black t-shirt, ripped skinny jeans and a scowl. Anushka had been fun a year ago. Now she was only interested in music. Last week she had recorded the neighbor's cat and mixed it in with the sound of the construction site. "Hey," muttered Anushka as she sat down. "Hey," Asher responded distractedly. She really wanted to find out more about Iceland's internet. Pooty turned the radio on. Asher activated the family virtual assistant. "Iceland's schools, hospital, and airports are all," said the reporter. "Pooty, play the Nush playlist," interrupted Anushka. A horrible screeching filled the air. "Pooty, turn the radio on," Asher repeated, covering her ears. "Activate parental control. Don't play anything." At Mum's command, silence filled the kitchen. "Much better," said Dad. The family tucked into their masala eggs. Asher thought about how she could record her parents' voice and then code a program to bypass Pooty's parental controls. She'd already created a voice faker program for drone, so it shouldn't be too difficult. "Asher, eat your breakfast before it gets cold," said Mum. "This is Asher said, digging in. Then she remembered not to talk with her mouth full. "Sorry," she tried again. "This is delicious." "You're very welcome, Pumpkin," said Dad. "Now, what homework do you have this weekend?" "I want you to finish that before you do any more tinkering with your gadgets." Dad poked at his tablet on the table. "And I think there was a message for you. Asher's parent has access to Anushka and Asher's email and Spaceways account. In theory, they could check everything that Asher sent or received, but they didn't know about her other 3 secret accounts. Neither did Anushka. Asher leaned over to see what that was talking about. The local library is opening a new shelf, he said, opening an email. Wow, said Anushka. How very not exciting. For once, Asher agreed to her sister. That's cool, Dad. I bet they have more, paper now. Asher tried to sound interested. Let me see. Asher skimmed the message, then read it again more slowly. Dad, she said thoughtfully, does this message seem weird to you? Dad nodded wisely. That's how you write when you advertise something. You use lots of exclamation mark. There were certainly a lot of exclamation marks on the Joshy Jellybees website. But Asher was still suspicious. Something about it just felt odd. Asher played around with the words in her head. First, she tried them backwards. Then she tried missing out every other word. We, your library, book have great days so self. Maybe not. What about taking the first letter of every word? Why, that wasn't right either. Suddenly, Asher found what she was looking for. It was a code, not the code she'd used for write computer programs. It was an old-fashioned human code. When the words contained a hidden message, once Asher saw it, it was obvious. The first letter of each sentence seemed to jump off the screen and dance around. While the rest of the email faded into the background, the code said, "We need Asher."